Greetings to you all. This is your brother Ambrose Weda Esq, lawyer and prolific published author. From the Greatness School, the Greatness Talk platform. Today we want to look at the secrets of reading. How you can read widely, how you can read broadly, how you can grow your mind, how you can grow your intellect. The theme is how I read not less than 150 books annually. That excludes research papers, that excludes law material. This has enabled me to write, publish books. This one is called The Ideal Lawyer, what you are not taught in college, but are pivotal to your career success. It is used in universities and post-university colleges in the training of lawyers and related fields in soft skills. This is a 505-page book. It has sold over 100,000 copies in East and Central Africa. I've also published Becoming the Ideal Professional. This is about 600 pages. I have done trial advocacy dynamics, the soft skills of trial advocacy, about 900 pages for the training of lawyers in trial advocacy and soft skills. This is the global expanded edition of The Ideal Lawyer. I read broadly, I read widely, and from there, from these books, I make money, and a lot of it, besides being a lawyer. It also gives you a formidable big name locally and internationally, a name that has a global impact. So I want to share with you today the secrets, the skills, the principles that I use to read those many books within 1 year. Remember, the German physicist Albert Einstein said, when you stop learning, you start dying. Did you know that even God himself, through Prophet Hosea, said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Ignorance is the cause of our troubles. Hosea 4:6. And all the maker of all things want us to know is to seek wisdom. Proverbs 4:7 says, in all you are seeking, get understanding. Your growth as a human being depends on your level of wisdom. So I share with you today the keys of reading widely. You need to read, you need to grow, you need to be good, you need to improve your mind. The more you read, the more your mental growth, your mental expansion, your intellect improves. Principles. One of the things I do, number one, I have set a strict reading goal. This is basically a decision to read. Reading is not as sweet as sugar or soda or food. It is something you have to decide. I have set a goal to read. I have set a minimum, and a minimum of 6 books per month. And I must read at least 10 pages of a book daily. That goal is a decision. Whatever the circumstances, however difficult it is, I must meet those daily goals. If I miss, even in a day, I recover the next day or the next day. Number two, I have a life vision. If you have a vision that carries you, it acts as motivation. It gives you passion. My vision is to write over 150 books, internationally published. 40 law books, 40 spiritual, 70 life skills, minimum. That drives me. keeps me going, it keeps me moving. I also have my mentors. My greatest mentor in this field is called Dr. Miles Monroe, a Bahamian priest. He's arrested, but he has written over 90 books, tapes, articles, preachings. I talk to him, I listen to him daily. I look at my other mentor, Joyce Meyer, almost 400 books. So looking at all these people, it drives my vision. And you have to read in order for you to write, because you have to evaluate those who have talked in the ideas you want to talk. Number 3, I have an area of interest. You don't just write, there are millions and millions of books in the world. All over. Cookbooks, animals, or whatever. Name them. So you must have an area of interest, an area of passion, an area you have decided this is which I want to develop. Personally, I do not read fiction. I read fact-based books. And my areas are law, spiritual, soft skills, motivational, life skills, biographies, economics, and a bit of science. This reading is to further this vision. So all the books I read, all the materials are in that area to further and realize this vision. You need a vision that will carry you as you read. Number 4, I have a library. You are not going to read books picked from the streets or from people or borrowed all over. You must yourself develop a library. You can see here that I have a huge library, huge, worth a lot of money. And of all genres are here. I have invested in books, especially books in the area of interest. This gives you easy access. And then you are able to collect books of interest in your reading area. A library is like a temple. It's like a shrine of knowledge where you walk in to tap knowledge. This is where you secure your books, you accumulate your motivation. That is like a fort of knowledge. You need it if you're going to be a good reader. And when you have a library, you have the propensity to buy more books. Number 5, I buy books. You are not going to grow your reading habits on borrowed books or stolen books or books picked left, right, and center. You must buy. Whatever you put your money in, you value. Whatever you are taxed into, you value. I have a budget for books. I buy books weekly. For you to grow, you must read. And for you to read, you must invest in book buying. I buy out of interest. I buy out of choice. It fills and satisfies my desire to read. Number 6, I read simultaneously. I don't just read one book. I read about 2 to 4 books at any one time. Get this clear. Reading 4 books means that they are all reading. You read one, in another time when you sit somewhere, you read another, you read all of them simultaneously. Sometimes out of interest. It kills boredom. It kills monotony. It also moves you. And you realize that by the time you have finished 4 books almost at the same time. It's also entertaining. It's also when you want to pass time. I do focused reading. I do entertainment reading. I pass time also through reading. Reading is a decision. Number 7. I place books strategically. These 2 to 4 books and several others, they are placed strategically so that I don't have to carry one book with me every corner. There you'll find a book in my bedroom. You'll find a book in my office. You'll find books in my car. You'll find books in my traveling bag. You'll find books in strategic places in the house. In other words, even if I just walk to a place, there are 90% chance that I'll find a book I have placed there for reading. This makes easy access. This gives you a chance to read anytime. This gives you, you are surrounded by books. Strategic placement of books. Number 8, I read daily. I schedule daily reading at least 1 hour every day. And I try to do it when my mind is alert, when my mind is still clear, when my mind is good. That is when I read at least 10 pages. It increases speed, it increases interest, and then it gives you ground to continue reading. Daily reading. Practice makes permanent. Doing it again and again, repetition makes you great, refined, daily reading. Number 9, I have audiobooks. Audiobooks, some of them by the author, some of them read by others. You just listen. Listen in a car radio, on a laptop, on an iPad, computer. You have audio read. They are easy to read. They're easy to listen to. They're very convenient and enjoyable. YouTube videos also gives you a chance to read. All this fuel my reading habits, helps me to read over 150 books yearly. Number 10, I have learned speed reading. It is something you learn. You are trained. You can learn it from the YouTube videos, the internet. You can read materials. You can practice. Some people can teach you, but it's a skill you learn and practice. And then you read quickly. You'll find you read very quickly. And that is good for you. It enables you to read quite a number of books in just quite a lot of information. Number 11. I read and reread some books. There are various books that I read once, I read twice, I read 3 times, I read 4 times. Each time I read it, I count it as a book read. Because I want to appreciate more, I want to revise, I want to understand, I want to get some points and facts. I read for mastery. I read for better understanding. Reading also makes you better. Number 12. I utilize any waiting time. Any waiting time that I have, I utilize it. I carry books in my traveling bag, so if I'm waiting at the airport, if I'm working anywhere, even if I'm going to an office for a meeting, anywhere I go, you will always find there's a lot of waiting time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. All this, even if you are in a public transport, you're reading, as you wait to be delivered where you're going, waiting. It's a lot of it. And utilize. That's the best time to read quite a lot. Map the waiting time and use it for reading. Finally, I always celebrate my reading culture. Every book I read is a cause for celebration. I take pride in reading many books. I talk about them. It helps me to grow. It puts me ahead of people. So the billions in the world, you are going towards the top if you're reading. I feel great. I reward myself. I give myself a gift for finishing reading a book. Either I buy another book or I do something nice that just congratulates myself. Or I just tell myself, congratulations. Or I just raise my hands to the air and I give myself a thumbs up after reading a book successfully. This video is to enable you to grow, to make you great. These things have worked for me. They can work for you. Learning is through reading. And what you need to learn, to know, to grow, to be better, to be rich, to be successful are in books. Grow a love reading books. I have never regretted. These principles will help you. If you find the principles we have set here useful to you, implement them, celebrate them, practice them, but also share with your colleagues. This channel is the Greatness School, and there are many other videos coming to make you great. Please subscribe to this channel by hitting the subscription button below. Because you know, and I know, that iron sharpens iron. Thank you so much. God bless you.